Welcome to Inside Games, the only gaming news channel brave enough to go on strike with SAG-AFTRA and the video game. I'm going on strike right now, guys. I'll see you later.
All right, well, damn it. Bruce is still co-owner of Inside Games, so he's still going to get a cut of this. We should have thought of that.
Management is striking against itself.
What are we going to do without the managers? They're the most important. Yeah, it's an interesting news week. We got some video game strikes. We got some more layoffs. Shocker, a delay. But the gamers won one. Turns out Apex Legends is doing a bit of a 180. And the same thing seems to be happening with Earth Defense Force, which launched with a nasty surprise, but that might be getting fixed as we speak.
All right, Brian, take us in.
Yeah, so top story, video game actors officially on strike. The SAG-AFTRA Actors Union this week has called for a strike against video game companies that use actors' images or voices in their games, and the strike officially began just after midnight on Friday.
Yeah, the action comes after nearly 2 years of trying to renegotiate its interactive media agreement. The video game actors are demanding higher wages and protections from the threat of artificial intelligence, or AI.
I mean, this is cool and all, but you know what doesn't go on strike?
Robots?
Computers are always there, yeah. But hey, more power to them. I'm not trying to be dismissive here. There are a total of 10 companies that have been targeted by this strike, including Activision Blizzard, Disney, EA, Insomniac Games, Take-Two Productions, and WB Games, basically the heaviest hitters with the biggest budgets.
In a statement, SAG-AFTRA President The Nanny, Fran Drescher, accused developers of misusing AI, saying, "We're not going to consent to a contract that allows companies to abuse AI to the detriment of our members. Enough is enough."
Good Fran Drescher impression. That was really good.
Thank you. No, good for her. I'm not making fun of her. She's awesome. And this is a similar reason to why the other actors went on strike, similar to why the writers went on strike. It's very all the same issues.
And of course, allow me to read the company's response, everybody's favorite response. They said, "We are disappointed the union has chosen to walk away when we are so close to a deal, and we remain prepared to resume negotiations." Sure you do.
Yeah, womp womp. Oh, why are they being so unreasonable? All we want is to take their talents and not pay them any money. Blah. So yeah, this isn't the first time that this union has gone on strike against gaming companies. You might remember, last strike was in 2016. It lasted about a year.
Yeah, and this all happens as we're seeing a lot of unionizing done by game developers lately.
Yeah, I know. More than 500 developers on the World of Warcraft team at Blizzard announced this week that they are unionizing. And, of course, Microsoft has recognized the group.
Yeah, also this week, 241 staffers at Bethesda announced a first-of-its-kind wall-to-wall union under the Communication Workers of America. That wasn't divided out by, like, craft or trade. Basically, everyone is included. It was also recognized by Microsoft.
And don't worry, even though we're all pretty much assuming GTA 6 will get delayed before its release in 2025, planned release, I should say, we have explicit confirmation that it is exempt from this strike.
Oh boy, I was worried. No, I wasn't. Apparently, any game in development before September 2023 is actually exempt, and Kotaku received explicit confirmation from a publisher spokesperson that GTA 6 is included in that group.
Makes sense. That's pretty civilized. That means that the strike is not trying to actively derail a game that's in maybe the last year or two of production, but it is giving developers enough time to plan for the next 5 years to come to a deal that benefits everybody. This makes sense to me. I think the biggest thing is it should be treated like syndication. If any part of you gets incorporated into an AI, you should be paid royalties until the end of time, until your heart stops beating. I would have liked some kind of arrangement like that in the media that I was a part of and on YouTube and stuff like that, but we made it. It belongs to a company, and now it's out in the wind, and we don't have any connection to it anymore. So
that's right. I just realized they could use our likenesses, Brian and Lawrence, whenever they want in AI, and they could not pay us to do that for years and years and years. I just realized. So we are actually screwed.
Oh, good.
Google just makes one little change to the terms of service that nobody reads, and they've got it all, baby.
Up next, this is sad. The indie publisher Humble Games has closed after its entire staff was laid off.
Yeah, the publishing division of Humble Bundle has published more than 20 titles since 2019, including Forager, Wizard of Legend, and Temtem, according to its parent company, Ziff Davis, which bought Humble in 2017.
And those were good games that seemed to do pretty well. Jesus Christ, what's enough anymore? Total of 36 people lost their jobs. That sucks. In a statement, the company said, "In these challenging economic times for indie game publishing, Humble Games has made the difficult but necessary decision to restructure our operation." I kind of call bullshit because indie games are still selling really well.
Yeah.
Yes, and they said that the decision, quote, involved much deliberation and careful thought with the goal of ensuring the stability and support of our developers and ongoing projects.
Yeah, and some CEO pocketed $30 million or whatever. They added that the restructure will have no impact on operations at Humble Bundle. And of course, those laid off took to social media to make the sad announcement.
Emily Kiefer, who was a senior QA at Humble Bundle, wrote, "Another year, another layoff. Today is mine and my entire team's last day at Humble Games."
Kiefler added, "This team was genuinely the best team I've ever worked with. We truly had something special." And on Reddit, I read sort of this announcement that when the news broke, and one person responded they were just a single person indie developer, and they said that team was like the best they had ever worked with, just like truly awesome people. So just a huge bummer.
They were known around the industry as being fantastic. Humble Bundle was always great. And this is a super, super bummer. And like Lawrence said, kind of doesn't make any sense.
It's for the stability of their future projects, which they're not going to have any because they just killed the team. So what the hell are you... the double talk is aggravating, the spin. But what are they going to say? We just wanted more money? I don't know. Speaking of bad news, Stalker 2, the game we've been waiting, decade plus for, has been delayed.
That's right, Lawrence. Stalker 2 has been delayed yet again. I mean, this might be the 5th delay for this game. It keeps getting delayed.
And developer GSC Game World announced it in a tongue-in-cheek video. It was pretty funny. The character just sighs. It's like, really? Again? Like, so they know, and they're trying to have a little fun with it.
Yeah, and I think we can all find a little patience too, given what they've gone through. The game was previously set to launch on September 5th. In the video description, GSC wrote, "We know you might be tired of waiting, and we truly appreciate your patience."
The extra 2 months will, of course, let them fix more bugs, according to GSC, which is great. They also announced a developer deep dive video, which will be released on Xbox media channels on August 12th, featuring interviews, new footage, and a full video walkthrough of one of the game's quests.
Stalker 2's exact release schedule, it's just been a mess because this is Russia's fault. They invaded Ukraine, and GSC was based in Kiev, but they've somewhat relocated to the Czech Republic, so, they're doing their best.
When Stalker finally does get out of here, the game will be released for Xbox Series X and S and PC.
There's also a couple of people on the Stalker forums worried about some of the microtransactions that are happening with Stalker 2 as well. I know, and I'm really excited for GSC. I want this game to be great, but I do want to acknowledge those concerns that people have had about Stalker 2. We'll see how those coalesce in the days ahead.
What's the story behind the microtransactions?
Well, there's like day one DLC and stuff like that people are bummed about. That I don't know that necessarily they said they weren't going to do that.
Season pass, skins, paywalled content. Season pass, interesting.
Like Brian said, I'm trying to allow them some grace because they've gone through a lot in the last few years. So I'm all right with them trying to get some cash out of their launch. But at the same time, they got to be a little careful when it comes to this release.
Interesting. It doesn't seem too egregious. I think it's mostly just people don't like those kinds of monetization models coming into games that typically never had them.
Absolutely.
Speaking of monetization models people don't like, but hey, people in the Reddit trenches won this one. EA is going to cancel their planned changes to Apex Legends Battle Pass.
Yeah, it all started earlier this month when EA and Respawn introduced a new Apex Legends Battle Pass system for Season 22, and that's never good.
Oh, it turns out they wanted more money. They announced that there would be now 2 battle passes for each split of the season, and players would have to buy each with $10 of real-world cash instead of the in-game currency, Apex coins, which you could actually earn through playing. So they're instead saying, now you have to actually spend the cold, hard cash, the real currency.
Yeah, no amount of player engagement will get you more content now. Also, what's with this split battle pass thing? Is it like Apex Red and Apex Blue? I need to keep current on this stuff, otherwise it's gonna leave me behind. Anyway, predictably, players were extremely mad at the new cash-only battle pass, and review bombs fell from the sky like rain.
Yeah, and EA backed down. So they sent up a little trial balloon. It got shot down, and now they're going to keep the 2 battle passes, but they are nixing the real money requirement. Basically, you can earn Apex coins through the previous battle pass, kind of similar with V-Bucks and Fortnite. It would give you, the battle pass would give you a certain amount, and if you played enough, you could buy the next battle pass with everything that you'd earned.
I'm going to be honest with you. This sounds like they shot the moon and they were like, well, we'll roll back a little bit. And they still got what they wanted. Either way, here's what EA said. You've spoken and we listened. With the release of Season 22, we will restore the ability to get the Premium Battle Pass for 950 Apex coins. We recognize that we could have handled the Battle Pass changes better. That's on us.
I wonder how far in advance they had that copy ready to go.
Ugh.
It's becoming a dance now. Publishers, I think, they're realizing that the gamers will get mad for a day, and as long as they toss them back a treat, then you can settle the bar somewhere above where it used to be and still pat yourself on the back for listening to the community. But whatever. Hey, if this is where we're settling out, that's just how it goes. They did add, players will be able to earn enough Apex coins via the Battle Pass to get future passes.
Yeah, and Season 22 of Apex Legends launches next month, August the 6th. Actually, that's really soon.
You excited, Bruce? You used to play Apex, yeah?
I used to play Apex a lot. Yeah, I just kind of fell off. That's really on me, honestly. I don't know that Apex has gotten better or worse in the years previous, but this Battle Pass shit makes me angry. And even though it's a free-to-play game, and they really have been... I mean, I understand that they need money through microtransactions to sustain the game. I totally get that. But everyone in their mother, every single company in the world, video games or not, is overreaching. All of these companies are doing this. And then they're all like, just McDonald's just did this, where they raised all their prices, and then everybody got mad, and then they're like, never mind, there's a $5 meal deal. And people are coming back, and they're like, whoa, okay. So again, this is a little dance that everybody's doing with the consumer, because they're trying to squeeze every nickel, and I'm tired of it.
It also seems like it's late stage games as service. The games that are still operating now are the oldest ones that have been out. They're the first wave, the first generation of games as service. So it's like, as player numbers dwindle and the waterline to be profitable goes up and up, they have to keep rolling out these more intricate monetization models to keep earning the same amount of money. It almost reminds me of like subsequent seasons of a TV show. Expectations go up, but budgets go down, sort of thing. So the squeeze is going to get tighter and tighter until it just kind of like fizzles out, like some TV shows tend to do. So yeah, it's funny that they call it seasons, because that is what it's starting to feel like. Like a show entering late stage when all the original talent has left and there's just a skeleton crew operating things.
It's like how World of Warcraft is still the biggest MMO. Like, that's, and it's not that it was the OG, but it kind of became the biggest. And now the genre is kind of a niche genre, but it's, and it's them and a few others. I feel like that's what we're going to see with these games too. And speaking of review bombs, players of Earth Defense Force 6 were not pleased by a last minute requirement that they sign in to an Epic Games account before they were playing. Not pleased because it's on Steam.
Yeah, the co-op Ant Control shooter, which launched this week, currently sitting at a mixed user review score on Steam, which, by the way, is better than when I looked yesterday. It was mostly negative.
Yeah, shame for a plucky little game, but it seems like it's, even though it's a big sticking point for a lot of people, a pretty easily remedied one, we hope. So what's the reason for all the review bombing? Well, like we said, on the game's launch day, the publisher, D3 Publisher, posted that to enhance cross-play and online functionality, online play requires signing into your Epic Games account.
Yeah, and people weren't pleased because there had not been notice of this beforehand, even though now it's reflected on the Steam page, but before it was not. They didn't advertise that.
Yeah, Reddit user Camboy696969 alluded to a similar sign-in controversy with Helldivers 2, writing, quote, "Have companies learned nothing from Helldivers 2? No one likes mandatory account connection on other platforms." Again, this was the first day. Helldivers was months later, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, well, it was meant to be first day for Helldivers as well, but it got pushed back. But yeah, an unpleasant surprise, and certainly you can understand why somebody would be taken aback, especially people that have a mortal aversion to Epic Games. There's still some weird baked-in negativity there. But referring to Camboy696969's question, maybe the developers did learn something after all. Maybe just a little late. Less than 24 hours after release, the game's developers posted a really brief message to Steam saying that the team is, quote, "reviewing and planning changes to the specification that requires sign-in to Epic Games account."
And if you're wondering how this could have happened, the game's developer Sandlot has a headcount of just 25 people. So maybe just some laziness on their part with the online requirement, and they just sort of had it all go through Epic Games, and now they're like, oh, we made everybody mad, let's fix it.
I'm allowing them a little more grace here because of that smaller team, and also the fact that it's free. I mean, the Epic Games thing is free. So it sucks that they didn't notify you, but they changed it within 24 hours. Also, if it really bugs you, get a refund. Get a refund. That's the number one thing to do. And you probably haven't played the game for 2 hours. You notice you had to sign into Epic before you launch. Just get a refund.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing given that it works on Steam by itself. So what's the Epic sign-in for? I mean, I think it does have cross-platform. I think PlayStation and PC can play together. So maybe they're using Epic components for that. You'd like to think that it wouldn't be a mandatory sign-in then, but when I put myself in the headspace of a development team of 25, you have to make a lot of like overarching decisions that cut off a lot of like edge cases because you don't have the development staff to take care of that. I think the menus and options screen in EDF kind of tells that tale too. So it's a tiny game that is expected to support a AAA set of features, and some things just don't fill in properly there. So, but still not a great surprise, a bit confusing. Hopefully the game will get back to a good spot with people.
All right, let's do a 5-second review. This is EA Sports College Football. And I literally bought this. I'm such a fair weather sports fan, but the University of Texas is good at football right now. Day one buy. If they weren't, I wouldn't have bought this.
All right, let's get to the games that are coming out for this week. First, Star Wars Bounty Hunter Remaster. Oh no, is this the Aspire one? Oh no. This one's gonna be bad. I can't wait to play it. They made this is the same people that made the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. Ooh, boy, oh boy, I can't wait to play this one. Comes out to PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X August 1st. You can bet your ass I'll be playing it.
We got next week's video in the can.
Yeah, I know.
Oh man, speaking of absurdity, the next game is Thank Goodness You're Here! This is an absurd comedy slapformer set in the bizarre northern English town of Barnsworth. As a traveling salesman, take the time to see the sights and meet the locals who are all very eager to give you a series of increasingly odd jobs. And I'm pretty sure I saw Matt Berry in the voice cast, so this sounds great to me. Thank Goodness You're Here is coming to PC, PS5, and Switch on August 1st.
And last, but certainly not least, World of Goo 2. Ooh, I love World of Goo. Use living liquid creatures to build bridges, grow towers, terraform terrain, and fuel flying machines. The world is beautiful, dangerous, and evolving. Every level is realistic physics and fluid simulation. Build, splash, explode, destroy, fly, and roll your way through your own unique solutions to each level. World of Goo 2 comes to the PC and Switch August the 2nd.
And speaking of strikes, we have some patrons on our Inside Games Patreon that support it every month, and they would never scab over their fellow laborer ever. Red N003, Shaky Pants, Matt Bogenberger, and Brandon Young.
Well, I got some patrons that take worker solidarity one step further. They travel the world looking for any and every picket line to join, and they are right in there. Cash Putnam, UESC Battlewood, and Jambers87, thanks for staying labor strong.